Hello and welcome back to another video tutorial here at Geekatplay Studios. My name is Gary Miller. Here we are in the view and I've gone ahead and imported my model. I'm going to ungroup my model into separate objects, and I'm going to select my wall and find a quick texture to apply to that. And for the fan, I'm going to apply a very simple basic texture, this red one up here. And for the frame, I want to apply a metal texture. And I like the painted rusted metal. That'll work fine. And I'm just going to drag that and apply it also on top of our grill. Let me do a render here to screen, 6 by 8. Okay, this is what it gives us. I'm going to change the atmosphere here. I'm going to choose the black background. Come up here to the atmosphere editor, fog and haze. I want set to 0. Come over here to light intensity dark, ambient to sunlight, and that creates a nice black scene for me. I'll come over here and create a point light just to illuminate my building a little bit. Now I do want the intensity of this light to be somewhat low, because it will drown out or wash out the volumetric light from my spotlight, which I just created. And I'll move that in the middle of my building. I want to make sure view through is enabled because I want to focus it on my little window here. And I will enable volumetric lighting. Now let's come back to our fan. We need to apply those alpha maps that we created in Photoshop, so I'll enable alpha map, click on my arrow, and make my way over to the desktop where my alpha map is, and that's the look that I want. Come down here to the grill. I want an alpha map on that, and grill covering. Now I'm going to want to reverse it because this is not the look I want. I want the holes to be voids, not the other way around. There we are. And my spotlight, I'm probably going to want to apply a kind of a dingy brown color to it. And drop that number down pretty low. I don't need it that high. And let's render this, see what we got. Here's our render. Now the only reason why I chose red as the fan blade is just to make it easier to see here in this demonstration. But if you look at the fan blade, notice the outline of it, and look at the edges over it. Because we created essentially the fan blade as an alpha map, and blurred the edges with the 2-pixel feathering back in Photoshop, it already has the soft edges that we want. In View, one of the animating options that's available is motion blurring, and it already looks like the thing is in motion, and we just created a quick little snapshot of it and still captured that blurred look. And that's the effect that I like, because I know this object is for this project going to be in motion, and I think by blurring that alpha map created more of that motion effect. And I also think it was effective creating the fan out of a alpha map rather than out of a 3D model, because you just couldn't get those soft edges with a 3D model. Got our lighting in place, got our scene set up, camera pointed where I want it to be. Now it's time to animate this. I'm going to select the fan, and that's the only object that's going to be animated here. I'm going to click on this animation tab up here, and under motion here it says not animated. Because the fan is selected, I want to apply just a basic animation to it, and that brings up this animation setup wizard. Now I'm going to just turn it off. I don't need that. I'm going to come down here and bring up this properties tab, and well, let's just make this a 10-second animation. I'm going to bring my timeline all the way up here to 10 seconds. And in this window, I want to click so that my fan is enabled. I'm going to click on the rotate button, and I'm just going to rotate this around a couple times. And now I'm going to back up my animation, and I'm going to press play. And my fan is rotating, and through that you will see the flickering effects of the volumetric light. And I'm happy with that. I'm going to come down here to this blank area here. I'm going to right click and select Animation Render Options, and that brings up this option window. Here I can select what options I want. I can select where I want my animation to be saved and in what format options, how many frames per second I want, and the frame resolution. And to get things started, all you have to do is click Render Animation, and it will start rendering away. So, there's one other thing I want to show, and that is, let me stop this. One other thing I want to show, when your render is complete, in order to find it, if you're using a Windows system, you want to look under My Documents, and in My Pictures, wherever that is in here, in My Pictures, you will have an Eon Software folder, and whatever version of View you're using, you will find it in there. So that's how to find the animation when you're done rendering it. So that's it for this very simple basic tutorial, and I thank you for watching here at Geekatplay Studios. My name is Gary Miller. Have a good day.